at that point. But yeah, that's just what I end up doing. I just cut everything I don't absolutely have to have. So, any other questions? Yes.
What does the tech person do with the volume since they're going to be on?
Nothing. Actually, it's really important what the tech person does. I'm just kidding, by the way. Your gain stages. You guys know what I mean by gain stage? Okay. So gain, it's the knob at the very top, your gain. And so gain stage just means where it's placed. Every time you adjust that, it changes how loud something is to hear. There are going to be times where you can't give them enough in here because it starts creating feedback out here on their vocal mic. Because now you can't do what you need to do. So you guys have to try to find your middle ground as much as possible. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, and Dave does this completely different, and so that's totally fine. This is all personal preference. I turn up the gains to as loud as I need to not feed back there, but are super strong signals. That way, they're always getting something that's really useful, and they're getting the most that they're going to get out of their instrument anyway. The people that have the hardest time are electric guitar players when they have amps on stage, because they are going to hear their amp and this, and there's a slight, very, very slight delay between the two. And so when you're listening to both, it can get really annoying real quick. Luckily, this room's not that big, and so the sound's not traveling that far, but it's going, just so you know, your sound is traveling through a microphone up over a ceiling, all the way back to the sound booth, through all the processing, back into another output, up over the ceiling, and dropping it back down here. And then into your different things. And so it's got a long way to travel. Sound does not travel as fast as light, right? And so people tend to think, well, this is electronic, so it's all the speed of light. Yeah, I wish. No, it's not. Sound does travel slower, as anybody who's ever taken any kind of science knows. So you will have a little bit of delay. You're going to be super, super small. It's not. Most people won't even notice it. But when you have your amp right next to it, you might. So that could get kind of annoying. So you want to make sure that you have enough in your ears that you know what it sounds like all together, but you're not flipping out.
Yeah, and for guitars or whatever, if you're confident that the signal is coming through the system for you to play on time well, it might make more sense to pull it out of your ears. If you're getting a delay and that's distracting you, you don't want to turn your amp down and kill all of your sound. And so if you kill it for the most part in your ears, so that you can hear everybody else, and then you can hear from the stage what you're at.
Yeah, as long as you have the click, because you'll be playing with the click.
Yeah.
Then it won't.
Yeah, don't turn everything down, but just your instrument if that's causing you an issue.
Yes.
You're gonna want to do sound check and mix them before the people mess with them.
Yeah. Yes. So that's a great point. These will save the last time that they were on, and so they will pull up the last time that they were saved, and it'll give you kind of a starting point. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the sound person in the back is done before you start adjusting all this. At least that they're done with the gains. If they're done, when they're done with the gains, then they say, yeah, okay, do whatever you want. So just communicate that, and then then you can make your adjustments.
So we'll start using these unless the people for Axiom have them today. We'll probably start this next week. We'll definitely start next week, if not tonight. But when we do that, we'll do a sound check for the sound person first to get gains set. It'll just change like the first 30 seconds of our sound check. We'll get gains set for sound person first, and then put your headphones in and start getting all that worked out on your eardrums. Cool.
You have these really long tails for a reason. You don't have to keep this right next to you during the whole service, but keep it next to you during rehearsal, so that as you're going, you can just look down as people are going and make adjustments. It just makes life a whole lot easier when you have that going. But then during the service, you shouldn't need to be making any adjustments anyway. And so just putting that back there, especially for you vocalists, you're going to want to not have to have this right next to you the whole time. Because then it also declutters for the teaching and all that kind of stuff. So. That's really it. It's a pretty simple setup. I mean, it's really there's really not much to it. You know, when you want it louder, make it louder. So cool.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Any questions on that, guys? More or less makes sense. It'll make a lot more sense once you've used it. It's kind of all theory until you put yours and start training. And you're like, oh wow, it really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And then we can work out fine tuning from there. But as of right now, also because somebody already asked this, all of the tails, that's what the extension things are called for your headphone cables. All of the tails, all of the Aviom monitor boxes work.
Yes.
So if there's a problem with it, it's not this stupid thing is broken. It's maybe your headphones don't work or whatever else. But let's go, especially when it's related to tech stuff, let's try and go in with the attitude of, I'm going to assume this works and I'm not doing it right. So how can I work with the right person to figure out how to do it? The last thing we want to do is end up like jury rigging things where we have, your custom duct tape fix for something that nobody else knows about and then breaks it for everybody else. Because more often than not, fixing it yourself like that ruins it for everybody else more than helps. So
this powers it and sends it all of the mic signals. Goes through this Ethernet cable. Take care of these things, because if more than likely, if you have something that's not working, it's because you probably broke a line that's inside this cable. So just be gentle. If you meet resistance, stop. That's just the general rule.
Yeah.
If you meet resistance, just stop. Yeah, don't force it out. Don't force it down. If it's stuck over here, don't yank the whole system to try to get it unstuck from something. Go back and unstick it yourself. Because you're gonna break it not intentionally, and then it's not gonna work, and then people are gonna be upset. So but that's really it. I mean, my wife, when she first used it, was not super happy the first time, but by the second time she used it, she loved it. Absolutely loved having it in her ears. We had John Liddell, one of our guitar players. He would not use it for years, and then I said, okay, you really have to now. We're not going to set up another monitor for you. You really have to. And now he loves it because it's made him better.
Yeah. Playing to the click is another thing that's very similar to that. It's really annoying when you first do it. The annoyance, I'm just going to be honest, it's because you're not doing it right. The annoyance of playing with a click comes from not having good timing.
The click keeps speeding up.
Yeah. The click is the same. The downbeat changed. No, it did not. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So learning how to do that well and get a habit of that is great.
It's super great. You can purchase apps on your phones that have clicks.
Well, there's all sorts of free ones. I have
There's a
two
bunch of
free metronomes on my phone.
Yeah. And so you can
get it
Yeah,
easy.
you can do whatever you want with that. I suggest
work
practicing
differently.
with it because it
I like the sound
makes
of
your
one.
life
Visual.
makes your life a lot easier. Or you can just go buy a metronome from the guitar shop.
Yeah. But it's not a bad idea to do that at all. But any other questions on this? If not, we'll until people have to take off, we'll talk through song database.
What does the
Good.
like sound like? Is it like really
It's like a
electronic?
metronome.
It has different settings, but it's like duck, 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 duck,
So every,
duck, duck. I mean, it's just a really repetitive.
Not all clicks are made the same.
No, all clicks are different. That's what most of them sound like. That's kind of a standard for an electronic one. We set up, sometimes we'll set up one because it's a little less annoying. That's a cowbell. It's a high pitch cowbell, then 3 low pitch. High pitch, so you always know where. So the high pitch is your 1. That's always your 1. And then the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Get in the habit of counting as you are learning music because that makes a huge difference. You can count your music out.
Yes, vocalists, where you have trouble coming in, learn to count. That learning to count and learning to hear part of the reason for hearing the songs too and for putting in the time, I'll just throw this out there because it's been an issue again recently. If you know the song, like you're familiar with it, and I'm specifically talking to vocalists here because nobody else, the instrumentalists don't have this issue. Vocalists, you have to learn to at least be familiar with what the band is going to play. The reason being, if you have no idea what a downbeat is and you have no idea what the guitar riff is supposed to sound like or when it starts over, you can't sing properly to it. And you can kind of fudge it through and get away with it some of the time. But to stand there and go, I don't know when I'm supposed to come in. That's because you're not counting and you're not familiar with what the band is doing.
And it's difficult to sing when you're not an instrumentalist.
It is, but that's something you can learn.
Yeah,
the counting.
So really paying attention to when a song's being played, where the vocal starts. A lot of vocals will start on the upbeat of 4 before the downbeat. And so knowing that, so you're not waiting for one to start singing because then you're going to be out of pace with the rest of the band. Just paying attention to that kind of stuff. And when the song's super straightforward, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, it's just putting in the time is going to be huge. If you can just put in the time, that's going to be great for you. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Hey guys, give Josh a hand. Thanks for coming out. We love you, Pastor Josh.
You're a good liar.
I do love you. I don't think they do. They hate you. I love you. All right, so people, let's migrate back to the table. And I'm going to awkwardly carry the video.
So I know before
I gotta leave.
those lights we put
You gotta
on-
go? Like right this second?
Wait,
Why?
I gotta do something at 2:30.
You're gonna be late. Okay. Bye. If you have any songs that you really feel like we have to play, or you will hate Jesus or whatever, get over it. But then you could also text them to us. Like right now, though.
Done before with those lights for even just to change a little bit. We've put the colored bulbs that we have from Christmas in them.
Okay.
So this is a slight change.
Well, if you want to do that at the end of this meeting, that's cool. That's something we can definitely change up.
Tell Mom to pick me up.
That's an easy thing. No, don't pick her up. Okay.
I don't have
And we're back.
I don't want to.
Okay, people. So on the Facebook, we put out a little survey last month asking you guys to give your 2 cents on, or hopefully more than that, on what songs you were interested in doing and seeing. And we've got the capability to, if there are some that somebody's like die hard, we have to have that one and nobody else is agreeing or whatever, or if nobody's ever heard it other than the one person who suggests it, we can play the actual music. But is there anybody who's not on Facebook? Like ever, like you don't have a Facebook? Because here's the thing, if you have a all right, so wait, put your hands up again. Put your hand down if you have a phone that can text. So hand raised for somebody who not only does not use or have social media, but also has no way of texting or receiving text messages. Everybody can at least do that. Fantastic. Okay, here's the thing. With Planning Center, if you're not getting text message requests, you need to let us know. Hey, how's it going? We were gonna take a few minutes and talk through song lists, but if you gotta take them, go ahead and take them. Up to you. Okay. Mike's like, I don't even want to do this. No. For Planning Center, you can get your request through text. Email is better because what it does when you respond through email is it makes you log in. so you can look at it. If you have a smartphone, please download the Planning Center app and just log in to that. It's nice. It works really great. And you can get all of the stuff on your phone. So you can listen to the songs and everything else when you're scheduled, and it's great. Hang on just a second on that. If you're not set up with that stuff and you want to be, hit me up either before you leave or on Wednesday or something else, not during the middle of service when I'm about to step on stage, but you know what I mean? The other thing is with some of this kind of thing, like what we're doing here, you know, like notifications about this stuff. I did a lot of this on Facebook, knowing that some of you don't use Facebook. I will work out a texting method for you to receive it. And I'll look at setting up a group on our current texting program, but another way to do it really easily, I might just do a Twitter account that would do it, and they would only tweet stuff like this, and you can just text follow at the name of the Twitter account, and you'll automatically get text updates.
Remind 101 is better. It's like
Or
it's
Remind
similar, but you
101.
don't get ads for Twitter or anything. Because on Twitter it'll text you ads.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
you should follow
sweet.
this person too.
Okay, so I'll use Remind 101. I'll set that up. I got to look at it. Anyway, so songs. We want to have about 40 songs.
20
Okay.
based, 20 God based.
Well, no, they should all be God-based, but some of them are specifically focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, on
Focused or me
yeah. The
focused.
two categories are like I-focused and you-focused, which is God, not on people. So like a song where you're singing about yourself, worshiping God, or singing about how you feel and what God is doing for you, where it's all about me. I'm singing about my experience with God, but I'm saying like, so I'll stand with arms high. Like that's more of a thing about what I'm going to do or how I feel or what my experience is. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You focused is like, you are the God of salvation. You are this, you are that. Like the word you is in it a lot, and we're singing to God about who he is.
Your face, you just-
So then the other thing is we want to have a nice mix of some stuff that's kind of more upbeat
Yes.
and some things that are a little more somber or slow.
Talk about the upbeat thing, because if we're gonna do an upbeat song, we need to be upbeat in attitude and stuff. On
Yeah,
stage.
well, okay, and so this is going to sound really funny, but it's totally valid. I've been watching American Idol and The Voice lately. Here's where I'm going with this. Good place. In particular, The Voice more than American Idol, but American Idol also plays into this. But the attitude or the way that you feel what you're doing, because on American Idol they talk much more about just like, you know, perform, we want to see a star quality, and in The Voice, like as they're coaching people, they tend to talk through like, I don't feel anything when you're doing that. Like I want you to bring me into the song, the story you're telling, the experience that you're singing about, that kind of thing. And it's similar to what we want with worship. We don't want to put on a show or manipulate people into things. But if we're singing about, like, for instance, this morning we did the song Forever, which is like the first two verses are about the death of Christ. You should not sing the death of Christ with boredom or happiness in your voice. You should be singing, like, picturing the disciples going, we just spent 3 years following this guy, and he just got executed publicly. He's not only our best friend, but we thought he was the new king. We thought he was the savior of the world. We were considering that there was going to be a massive revolution that would revitalize humanity, and that just failed hard. You know what I mean? And so this comes through in vocalists, but it also applies to all of the instrumentalists. There is definitely emotion in the way you play things. And I saw a piano player talking about this in particular. So those of you who play piano, right now it's just Carly in the room, I think. But the same effect works for guitar. But like this guy talked about the way to play piano well is to play one cheek piano. He said if you sit up on both cheeks on the chair and you're playing piano, you don't have any feel in what you're doing. But if you sit on one where you're off balance a little bit, where you've got to lean into what you're doing and balance it and work it that way, it actually brings about the feeling of what it is you're trying to emote, because you're leaning away from it a little bit as you play those soft parts, and then you lean in and really go for it, and keep coming at it in waves as you play the more intense parts. In the same way with guitar, with anything else, with vocals, as we do these things, we are helping to play the emotion of what it is we're singing, and that's important. So on that, are there any songs that we do right now that you're like, please, in the name of Jesus, let us continue doing them, like something you've heard in the last few weeks, that you're like, please, let's do that song a lot more? Lucas. Hallelujah? Which Hallelujah? There are about 1,000 songs called that. Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Didn't they do it for Christmas?
Yeah, and we did the Christmas version.
There's a non-Christmas one.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
That's
that
really
was
good.
that Thrive. That was so
Who's the
Yeah,
guy-
they did it at Thrive.
who's the guy at
not
Thrive?
non-Christmas version
What was his name?
Lincoln Brewster.
Yeah,
Lincoln
Lincoln Brewster's
Brewster.
version is really good. I wouldn't mind putting that on the set.
Right.
Yeah, so the original version we won't do because it's actually totally irreverent. So it's not appropriate for a worship song. But we'll, yeah. Okay, cool. Other ideas? Yeah. Tyler. Sinking Deep.
I was gonna say that one.
Loving that song. I don't even know which way these go. Okay, Sinking Deep. Okay. And if somebody says something, you're like, no, I hate that song. Please no. Scarlett. Okay, Beautiful, the Phil Wickham one. The whoa, you're beautiful. Like, we really like that song still. Hey, it's Mizuki. Is that still like, yeah? Because that one we've had for a while. Is that something that everybody's okay with?
Yes.
Here's another thing on the worship team, just in general. On the worship team, one tendency is going to be that you listen to more worship music in general than everybody else does. Two, when you're on, especially if you're on more than once a month, you are hearing the song unless you are totally failing at this. And as Josh said, you show up and you've never listened to the song before, you're fired. But if you are actually rehearsing and practicing and doing all that you're supposed to do, and then we play it for 2 hours before service and rehearsal, you've heard this song 100 times more than everyone else in the room. So by the time the song is old to you, most of the people are sort of familiar with it. Does that make sense? We tend to get burned on the worship team. You will get burned out on some of the songs. And that's where Josh was talking about, like, fighting through and being able to worship to stuff that you're not really feeling in the moment. Just putting that out there, some of those things. But so You're Beautiful. Cool. We'll keep that in. What else? Yeah, somebody, Katie. From the Day. We're digging that song.
It's so good.
Sing it well, but I like it.
Okay, that's a great song. It's hard to sing, but it's good.
Yeah.
Chase?
10,000 Reasons.
10,000 Reasons. All right. Some people not a fan. Some people loving it.
So much.
I'm gonna put a question mark with that, and we might actually put just hey, we'll throw Chase up there when we sing it. You Make Me Brave.
Yes. So good.
Oh.
Okay. Lucas.
Yes.
Oceans.
Yes.
You're still really loving Oceans.
I still
Yes.
think
Yes.
it
We've-
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
I also wasn't here during
You Make
the
Me
like
Brave.
apparent
I like when we do
Oceans.
oceans with different sets of people, not the same people every time.
Right.
because everyone-
Oceans and You
Yeah.
Make Me Brave. That's cool.
The combo.
The combo's awesome.
Is it a
Okay.
combo?
Yeah, it's a
What?
combo.
Let It Be Known. You like that one, huh? And I'm seeing other people nod. Okay, cool. Okay. Cool. No, that's good to hear, because those of us who have been putting this together longer actually felt like that one had fallen flat a few times. So
Do we do the same
Um,
songs in Axiom? or in-
not always, but it would be, we want to get a good
Yeah.
blend going. It's kind of based on ability and
Yeah.
who's playing and everything else. Also, here's the thing. You guys, when Josh said on the paper here, part of it, be worshipers first. Not that I'm going to come up and be like, hey, you didn't like praise your face off while you weren't on stage. But it's going to call into question your interest in the worship if we consistently see you tuned out when you're not on stage. That's cluing us in that this is not really your thing. You just want to be up and perform for people. So some other ones that were, does anybody else have one that's like super pressing on their brain? Still really liking that one, huh?
It's mine.
You guys do? Okay.
We haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, we haven't played it in Rise, but it's been in Axiom several times recently. Brandon?
I have 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Rooftops.
Rooftops. I love that song.
Yeah. Mission My Soul. And
I hate that one.
Such a Time as This. Those were like terrible songs.
So Brandon heard them when he was a baby, and okay. And what was the other one? Commission My Soul. All right. That would actually be a good one to throw in like soon with the missions thing. My Lighthouse.
Yes. My school needs to realize
It's
that
hard.
oh my God.
Hard song is not a good reason to disqualify it unless it's undoable. Set a fire down in my soul. The new one that's out right now, like on Kayla. Oh, I don't know. Our version of Heart of Worship got a ton of votes on the poll we put on Facebook. The jazzy kind of broken up version. You guys digging that still?
The what one?
Heart of Worship.
It was my favorite to sing. Oh,
Yeah.
Desert Song.
Oh, okay.
I vote
I'm
Heart
just
of
on the
Worship.
sheet now. Can I just look? I'm looking at the voting.
Only you.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too.
I like all the poor and powerless.
I don't.
We still like all. Do we still like all the poor and powerless? And feel like that's,
No.
show of hands who says no.
No,
I retract my
Okay,
statement.
that's enough. No, because we don't need
but
it.
Rachel loves it. If
We have.
Rachel was
I know.
here,
I know.
she's
I know. I'm just saying. We have enough people going meh.
Over it. Yeah.
After all, the holy. It's the digital age. Yeah.
If you guys want to hear any songs that you haven't, speak up. You can't really vote on something if you haven't heard it.
At Your Name.
at your
Are we digging that one? Or how about At Your Great Name? Those are different songs. There's At Your Name is the At Your Name the mountains shake and crumble. Do we like that?
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
It's a nice.
Not like that one.
Okay, so we like.
Tyler's great friend forever.
Hey, hold on. All right. What about on the other one? Because I believe somebody said it. Your Great Name. It's like Natalie Grant. It's on Caleb all the time.
Yeah, Natalie Grant.
Lost are saved, the dead are raised at the sound of your great name.
Yeah, that's a good one. We never sing
Yeah.
it here.
Okay. Jesus, worthy is the Lamb. That one. Okay. Your great name. Okay. Yes, Savannah. Savannah. Yes. 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 Blessed be your name.
Yes, I like that song. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It is an old one. That song was well established when I got saved. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Huh? We can do it. There's a cool version of it's actually the same chords to a couple of U2 songs. So like electric guitar, we can make it really cool with playing it like a U2, not YouTube, but the band U2, the British rockers.
You know the one I got on
Sing like
everyone's iPhone? That band.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't want to
you
sing
do.
it like that, but you'd have to play it like The Edge, Brandon. That's the thing. Yeah, we're not doing that.
That
Um,
song by For All Seasons.
Only You by For All Seasons. High Above It All?
I'm
You like
kind of
that one?
over it.
I'm kind of
I want to do some of their new songs from the last time we were in Hume, like
Yeah.
Overflow and
Okay.
Such a good song. Oh,
King
great. Oh, King Forever was so good. King
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
King Forever.
Over.
Overflow. What was the other one? Great God. Great God. Okay. So,
We do greater by mercy.
I don't think it's like a worship song.
yeah, no, there's, I remember the song you're talking about. It's the fast upbeat one, right? Bring your time.
Yeah.
Bring your, yeah. I think Sedona's right. I don't think it's really a worship song. Again, anybody who needs to leave, parents that are here, Jim, if you got to go,
You better not
yeah,
be a parent.
no, if you need to leave, feel free to bail. If you guys, if your parents are here and you need to go, you can totally go while we're talking about this. I'm going to put up a final vote list at the end of this. Yeah, take that with you if you took some notes. If you didn't, yeah, man. So-
my school like did this wanted dead or alive intro to that song and actually sounded kind of good.
Which?
Set of fire ones.
So
Yeah.
build your kingdom here. That song.
It's gotta be done.
Right.
So fire with me.
Brian, Brandon said,
No,
build
that's
your
a different
kingdom here.
Build your kingdom. All right. I love that song.
Lindsay suggested Lifeline by
Lifeline.
Yeah. Have you not heard that one?
Okay. If you still have a song idea and you have to go ahead and either shout it or sell it out. What, Lucas? Oh, what song? How He Loves?
That one's good.
We still like that one, huh?
I do. It's a nice song.
All right.
It's a solid song. It's really good.
Go for it, Carlos.
Only if we get to sing Sloppy Wet Kiss. That's the way the original author wrote it, and it makes the most sense. No, I don't want you drooling. No, actually, no, he meant like a fully awkward and sloppy
But that's the
big
intimacy he
kiss.
wants.
No, he's saying that the connection between the kingdom of heaven and man is sloppy and messy and kind of gross, but God loves us anyway. Did you guys that are leaving have any other ideas? If not, thank you so much. You are all loved and wonderful. And oh wait, no, that was good. Okay, thank you. That's all. You're awesome.
What does it mean?
Okay, Savannah, song, go.
Is it called Build Your Kingdom Here?
Yeah, we just wrote that one down. Perfect. No, that's good. 2 votes for that. Good.
Also, there's
siblings.
2 songs
Uh-huh.
that are really good, but we have never played them in the ministry, whatever. Is Hurricane by Natalie Grant? Yes.
Is that like a worship song though?
Yes.
I have one.
Well, it's more of an I song.
Didn't somebody post that on
I
here?
think so. We talked about it.
Also,
KD
In the
did.
End by Natalie Grant. It's more country-ish, but it's
Which one?
In the End by Natalie Grant.
So
I also.
Hurricane. And those are both Natalie Grant?
Natalie Grant.
And In the End. Okay. Look into it.
Oh, what?
Bye.
I thought they weren't hired.
Okay. Yeah.
More of You by Colton Nixon. It's a really good song. More of You.
More of you, less of me. Dun,
It's-
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good song.
More of you.
It would be easy too. I think.
Okay. What else?
Break every chain. And
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Rednall.
Hold on. By
Hi, Roger. Break every chain. Yeah, I think so. What'd you say?
We should do Today the Day from Lincoln Brewster.
Today is the day. By
Today's the
Lincoln
day.
Brewster. We don't have. Well, we'll have to have Brandon learn how to do the shredding guitar solos out of nowhere for no reason. No, what's the one? There's a new one that's on K-Love all the time. It's Lincoln Brewster, and it's pretty good. And then the guitar solo
like,
feels so out of place.
yeah.
And I'm like, why is that in there? That's so dumb.
What was that one that was
Made new. It's called Made New.
Made new.
Yeah, I love that song.
I'm
That's a
made
good
new.
Yeah.
And then all of a
Oh
sudden,
yeah, it's like yeah, it's like what?
you, but it's like this
Yeah,
total pop song, and then it
Yeah,
has like an
it's
80s
so
guitar solo. And
good.
you're like, why?
Yeah, it's amazing. But
He
it's
does like all the like hammer-on stuff all of a sudden,
yeah, all that
arpeggios, like,
stuff is like what?
and then it
It's
stops.
like
and you're like,
it shouldn't be in that song, but it like makes it so good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I've got like 3 of them.
okay.
There's one that they played at Thrive Unleashed. It was by the Thrive Worship Band, I think. It's like How Great Is Your Love? And they're coming out their CD soon, but I don't know if it's on anything.
Maybe
yet.
for next quarter.
Just put a pin in it. But then Here in Your Love, like that one. And then
Okay.
Scandal
Can you
Grace, that's the other
can you try and find me an MP3 or video of that song,
one. The Thrive
KD? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Oh, Scandal of Grace.
Yeah, and Here in Your Love. Jesus. Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Huh? What's Here in Your Love?
We're talking about the song list.
Yeah, that's called Set of Fire.
Okay, well, that one.
Set a fire.
That's got
Oh,
two
yeah.
vocals.
Set a fire down in my soul.
No.
What?
Is it
That's the
different?
one that
No.
Austin was asking.
No,
for.
that's not the one he was
No.
asking.
It is too. He just said it.
That's the one he was asking for.
Is this what you're talking about, Austin?
No place I'd rather
Wait, isn't
be.
it? Because that's the one they played at Planet Wisdom. You sure? Oh, it's the other one? No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
No, that's it. That's the one. Right there. The only one that.
That one.
Set a fire. That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah. And
All right.
Jesus, I come.
That's not it. That's called Lead
No,
Me
no,
to the
down.
Cross.
It's down there.
I got you.
No, Jesus I Come
Oh,
is not the song. You're singing Lead Me to the Cross by Hillsong. Other ones that have not been mentioned, like I think My Heart Is Yours by Christian Stanfill.
What is that one?
Take it all, my life in your hands. My heart is yours.
Oh, yeah.
My heart. It's kind of repetitive, but it's real
Really
simple and really.
I have a request on a knot. Can we not do like a lion?
I like.
I love
like,
that song.
Personally,
Actually,
every
I
time we
love
need
it.
so we need to do something with it because every time that I've seen
That's
it,
a
it's been
that's a
flat.
vocalist
Okay.
issue,
Well,
not
then
a.
we need to fix it because it's flat and it's a fun.
Yeah, I think in general, our especially on upbeat songs, but just in general, there's a lack of passion from our band and worship team in both services. So it's a universal issue of, I'm guessing part of it is confidence and part of it is lack of preparation and part of it is just a lack of, I want to say, perspective on what the song is. Like, okay, this morning, I feel like I was getting pretty passionate about what I was saying. And like, I could read my sermon from this morning and have it be super boring. And the Holy Spirit can still use that. According to some people, I can't remember the preacher's name. There was a really famous evangelist and he's written a ton of books and his sermons are very popular still. And all these people like, buy his stuff. Like people have reprinted his sermons and like they sell in the Christian bookstores and whatnot, like crazy. And he's considered this amazing preacher according to legend or whatever. I mean, he was out ministering like close to 100 years ago. And so like the is that this is how he would preach. Build your kingdom here. Blessed be your name from the day. 10,000 reasons, maybe when Chase sings. You make me like super boring the way he presented it. But people would come out like by the thousands to hear this guy preach. It was crazy. So, not that it's all in your delivery, it's also there's a lot on the congregation to participate in the worship, and we should be able to, if the lyrics say anything positive about God, you should be able to worship to it because your worship is not based on the quality of the band. or anything else. Your worship is based on who God is. And so, and I struggle with this because sometimes, like Josh said, like he's not always a fan of the songs they do. There are particular teams that we have here that I love the people. It's not a personal issue. It's a, wow, I hate this song. I hate the way you're playing it. I'm not a fan of any of this, and still struggling through and going, okay, how can I worship to this? In particular, one that always got me until I played it at my last church was You Never Let Go. I first learned that as a kid's song. It was cheesy. I have motions that go through my head every time I hear that song.
I'm running to you.
Yeah. And so like the, oh no, you never let go through the calm and through the storm. And then we did it, and I had to lead it at my last church. I had to lead it on a Sunday, and I was playing guitar, and I was like, I didn't even want to play this. I don't want to sing. I don't want to sing at all. Put my microphone away. Like, I don't want this. And they were like, no, you need to sing this. And so I sing it, and we did a slower version of it that wasn't really poppy. It was more like emotional, and it had like some synth effect in it, and like the drums were kind of big and epic and slow, and people were like on their knees crying. Like the congregation was just like blown away, and you could feel the Spirit move. Like when it got to that, like, I can see a light that is coming for the heart that holds on, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song, but like when it got to that part, people were like jumping to their feet and shouting. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, God, this is amazing. I felt like Jonah. I was like, I hate that you were doing this in the middle of this song right now. Stop it. It's so bad. Don't make this good. And that's totally how Jonah responds when Nineveh repents. He's like, no, I knew this would happen. I hate this. I did not want this. But anyway, but so like I was saying, part of the value in like my preaching, for instance, just because today I was kind of shouting a lot of it and just like really into it. I never ever do that otherwise.
Yeah,
that was really weird for me. But that like part of that is like, the effect, the words are hitting, people are considering them differently because of the way I'm saying them. If I was like, hey, isn't that kind of a trip, man? Like Jesus totally called us to like God and like spread his word and like make disciples. I don't know what that's about.
You totally just sound like Dwayne.
And right. And so like for his style that can work at times, but also like, that's not, and not that, yelling all the time is good either. Like sometimes we need different presentations, but it changes how the message comes across. The same thing for worship. It's hard for other people to go nuts and praise God when you're up there like, rejoice when you cry to him, he hears your voice. Rejoice, you know what I mean? Like,
do that song,
Yeah.
I think that it's like it gets like this weird slowness to it, like rejoice.
It's a tempo thing.
Yeah, the guitar's going fast and the singer's like, we'll have the click.
But yeah, well, there's the click, but also vocalists. Yeah. You've got to find that spot of being able to sing 120% of the emotion that you're supposed to be finding in that song, or it just loud. No, that doesn't mean loud at all. That, like I was saying about Forever, like the moon and stars they wept, like that needs to be quiet and broken sounding, not loud. If you're just like singing louder, like the moon and stars they wept, the morning sun was dead, is not. That's yeah, but that's not emotional. That's not heartfelt. It's not true to the lyrics. And we have an opportunity to, like Josh said, like some of the greatest worship songs and some of the stuff like old people will hate all of our stuff for because they're like, why aren't you singing hymns? And they're thinking of like Charles Wesley hymns or stuff that like John and Charles Wesley brothers. John Wesley started the Methodist Church.
I have not.
And so lived in the previous century. And he wrote a ton of hymns. These two brothers wrote a ton of hymns together. And a lot of them were based on taking doing something that we would consider generally to be pretty cheesy. But they would take really well-known bar songs, sub tunes that everybody was familiar with the melody, everybody could sing along to it, and they would change the words and basically put psalms and creeds, Christian creeds, into these melodies. And so they would sing things like the Apostles' Creed to music so that it just digs in and gets memorized by people, so that they were actually teaching theology through the songs, and not in a cheesy way, but in a and that's what makes a song great. Like when we can not only sing something that's like that we can emotionally connect with, but that it's also something that like, man, I really want more than anything for you guys to know and remember this song because it holds the good news about who God is. It holds the truth about who he is. You know what I mean? And when we can it could be.
Was it? It is based on your memory.
Boom, boom,
Can we
boom,
not
boom,
sing
boom.
that song?
Alive?
Yeah. That was the one I
You
was
are
gonna say.
alive in us.
Oh yeah, no.
Or
No.
Made Alive.
Why?
I don't like.
Why? Why?
I don't like them.
They seem. I don't know.
Grumpy pants.
they're always-
Give me a better reason than I don't
they're-
like them.
Okay, I do them. I'll do them. I have a reason.
Um,
Can I say my reason?
yeah, I can't think of how Made Alive
Okay.
is. It's that Citizens song.
I'm made alive forever
Forever
with your love,
more.
forever by your grace I'm saved.
I'm
Okay,
putting it back down.
The reason why I wouldn't want to do them is because they seem like they should be fast songs, but the notes are so flat, and our majority, well, actually, our pretty much every single one is girl singers, and it's
Hi,
like, and
Olivia.
it's like, I was lost with a broken heart. You found me up, now I'm set apart. And it's like flat, and it doesn't have much variety in it, and it's fast. So it just seems really
Yeah, but again, it's all in the feel of it. Like if you're getting into it and like getting
know.
everybody kind of
even when
dancing.
it's like
No,
not
but hear me on
it's
this.
still
Like
flat.
and in particular before on the upbeat songs, when that's the critique of it, I'm going to push back until I see differently that the band needs to step it up on those.
I think that's.
And it's not a song choice thing, because we don't have a single fast song I've ever heard done in this ministry that has come off like really top notch. Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was incredible the way you guys like showed the energy. That like, there's not that passion in what any of you guys. I'm not calling you out particularly. I'm saying like nobody's doing that. And so like, if that's the thing, if we have a song that's just absolutely terrible, that's one thing. I don't think we have any. None of these songs are horrible. And I've heard them done in different various ways where they come off really well. Like, I mean, it's all in how you sing it. If you're sold out on it, it's going to be good because you're praising God with everything you have. But if we can't get past that and go, hey, like this one, like, if Brandon's going like, I brought my electric guitar and all these songs are boring, get over yourself. If it's that you know what I mean? And so like with those, like I actually 100% disagree with that assessment of the song, not just because I want to be argumentative, but because I think part of it is those songs are easy to sing for everybody because they're not all over the place. And where like for you have this big voice that you can sing in a range that 90% of the people can't sing in. I can't sing with you. No, I really can't. If you're singing stuff that's in your sweet spot, I'm singing harmony, or I'm singing quietly an octave lower.
I know some of the guys in the ministry have told me about that before. Like they're like, I love that, but I cannot sing that at all.
Yeah, and so that's another thing is like, what's the easiest thing to sing? And so a song like "Alive" by Young and Free, it's a good song. It's not as there's not as much substance to it. Made Alive by Citizens actually is really great theology. That's one that like, dude, if everybody memorized that, it's based on Ephesians 2, and it's great. It's really good stuff. So yeah.
Can you completely buy along the thirsty
Bye.
ideas?
I'm yours completely.
And there's a song that we used to do like forever and ever gets done. I might remember it, but it's not rooftops, but it's like we'll shout it out loud from the rooftops. We won't be quiet. And I don't remember what it is, but I've been trying to suggest it forever, but I don't remember what it's called. There was like an Aaron, I think his name was.
Oh God, by Citizens.
We
We still like that one?
have
I still love
We've done it a bunch in
Oh, have you?
Axiom.
We don't
we
ever
should
do
overplay that song.
Okay.
You'll never leave my.
We should overplay that song?
I don't think they'll
Yeah,
be my other
Lindsay on
comment.
that.
We'll just leave it.
Okay.
If we have
Anything? Okay, so
Yeah. Have to have
All the
40.
foreign powers definitely have to curb though.
what?
All the foreign powerless.
Well, we already said no.
Oh, I can feel Rachel's tears right now.
Okay, so we've got close to 40 or a couple over right here on this list right now. Other songs that we didn't. Oh, Come As You Are. That was one that was.
I found the name of the song that I was trying to tell you about.
What?
It's called "We Won't Be Quiet" by David Crowder.
I
I
know
can play it.
that.
You want me to play it?
No, I've heard it.
Okay. It's playing right now. Kind of. Sort of.
Sure it is.
Buffer, little circle, loading, yeah.
Why is it my Wi-Fi?
I've never heard it in this. So
Hi, Olivia. I would love to occasionally work in a bit of a hymn here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
As a friend's like
one that
Jesus
you-
paid it all.
That's the one that you.
Wait, so Bug left and you came? Oh, it's gone. Girl, the meeting
Sorry.
started at like 12:30.
Yeah,
Oh.
12:30.
Oh. I was like,
It ended at 2.
It's okay. Your sister's
Oh,
already
what?
gone.
So
Yeah, wait, are
Do
we
we have,
something or something?
yes.
no, you're just gonna get on stage.
Yep. Okay, so sorry, we were in a meeting and we're finishing up now. That the few of us that are left. If you guys all have to go, or if your parents are here, or whatever. Yeah.
Do we have commissions on that?
Actually, yes. Somebody just suggested that
Yeah.
because Olivia wants to do it. So that.
Other Olivia.
yeah.
Got it.
No, see, I actually, and I'll be honest. The version that you guys do at Sierra Lou of Like a Lion is the Newsboys version.
Oh,
That
yeah,
version-
That's not dead.
That version makes me.
Newsboys is Brian's favorite band.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
that
if you're
that.
ever- if you don't
that
like
one-
Brian for something, Newsboys.
Okay. No. I'm not gonna rant and rave for hours on end. To put it clearly and simply, if the Newsboys were any presentation to me on, like, if I wasn't saved and somebody showed me the Newsboys as a reason to like consider Jesus, I would probably never again give anybody the time of day who wanted to talk to me about Jesus.
Why?
I despise that band with everything in my soul.
They're
I
not Christ
So he
followers,
doesn't
or
even
are they?
realize.
I just think their music is beyond terrible. I think it still sounds like it sounded in the 90s, and in the 90s when I first heard it, I thought it was the worst thing I'd ever heard.
Some people still like it. Like we were testing a car in Reno,
Yeah.
and we were driving, and Matt was like, because Matt was trying to buy this car, and Matt's like, "Oh, I'm in a band, yeah, I made stuff." He's like, "Oh, it's a Christian band." Like the guy's trying to sell it. He's like, Matt's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh yeah, Christian songs. Yeah, I've turned on the radio before. I heard that one song, Like a Lion. Yeah, it's just so inspiring."
It's so
Me and
inspiring.
Tori just kind of like try not to laugh because it's one of like the worst songs, but some
I know they
people
played
like
it
it.
like God's not dead.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I had an unsaved person say, "Oh, I love that."
That's why
movie.
I don't
The
like-
song is so good.
That's why I don't like God's not
They
dead
don't
because the
even
only
know,
version
like-
that could down is the Newsboys version.
Austin, we missed you at our meeting just now.
Brian, that's why I don't like that song is because I think the Newsboys version is flat and terrible.
Yeah, no, the Daniel Bashta, his voice is a little bit crazy, but I didn't like him at first, but I really appreciate just the rawness of like, he's praising 90% with his soul and like 10% with his musical ability. You know what I mean? Like he just gives all into it. And there's a David Crowder and Daniel Bashta working out the song where it's fantastic. Anyway, but yeah, the version, the roaring like a lion. I was like, Lion doesn't have a Y in it. Let's not sing it like it does.
You're lying.
And so, yeah, anyway, I really like that song. It's hard to pull off well because you really got to sell out on the passion of it.
I have the one.
That's the thing about that song is you've really got to do it right. A lot of these though, here's the thing though, I would almost put out that
I have the one from
if you're not willing to go all out like that on it, worship may not be the thing for you.
I gotta go. See you guys.
So,
Bye,
hey, Austin, thank you.
Oh, so I have to go.
I don't know where the pencils came from. But you can make a
Tyler
file.
gave them us. Gave them. So.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and turn those off so you don't.
Can we take the round ones off too, so that's more
No.
intuitive, maybe? 'Cause the round ones are right, not the rest of them. Do you want me to turn it off?
Yeah.
Will you turn it off or just turn it off?
Olivia, I like your scarf.
What? No, click the button. Yeah, just click the button.
Huh?
You just need it to not be giving power to the book for a little while so that
You
they.
haven't
Or
started, but you're
actually,
screwed.
yeah, go ahead and click them off like that. Okay, so we're gonna call this meeting long finished. Okay,
It's like 26.
meeting done. No more.
We only had to raise
So,
stuff.
any other final questions on the meeting?
Ryan, are the end of the stage?
You're in Lily,
Yeah.
right? That's
That's my final question as well.